Hey, it's Joe here with another video, and I want to talk about realizations. So on this journey of awakening, you are going to have many realizations, including that it's not a journey. So as time goes by, you'll recognize there was no time. Wow. And there'll be a realization. When you realize that all experiences are perceptions only, you can have this realization that we're not even in a 3D world, because all distances are perceptions. The building at the end of the road and my body here are perceptions. The distance between them are perceptions. The time it takes to walk that journey are perceptions. So everything, how do I describe it? It becomes like a white hole. So a black hole is infinite density in an infinitesimal space, but consciousness, awakening, is like a white hole, which is infinite space and zero density. So you'll have these realizations. You'll start to realize that the field of vision is so beautiful, that what we're looking at is the display of the absolute. So this will happen many different ways, many different times. You'll have these huge blissful moments of realization, and all of that is perfectly fine. But it is all perceptions. Even the realizations are perceptions. And the reason why I said I share this is not to throw a blanket on people's awakening. Right? It's not my aim. It's just that when the realizations come and all of the body mind goes through an intense uplift into joy, bliss experience, we can become attached to that. So we can think that is the awakening. Oh my God, everything's so clear. I really see it now. There's nobody here. There's no person. There's nothing going on. There is no one to talk about this, that, and the other thing. And these are just the waves, the ebb and flow of the separate self. Because before awakening, the separate self might be going, oh, I don't like life. Oh, that was a nice swim. Oh, she's okay. Oh, I don't like him. Whatever it is, up and down, up and down. Now, after awakening, it's like, wow, the whole universe is made of love. It's exactly the same dynamic. It's just the identity of the separate self has shifted. So that can be liberating. But that identity of the separate self is going to shift again. So if you're riding the shift of the separate self and you're assuming that's awakening, then when that wave drops, you drop with it. This happened to me when I had my first glimpse of awakening. It was, I think, 2004, and I was in India, and I'd been into a satsang, and I sat with a teacher, and I had loads of questions at the time, and she said to me, greet every question with thank you. And my mind went into a dissolve. It's a bit like when in those, I think, 1980s nuclear war movies, when you give the computer, the evil computer, to play tic-tac-toe and it shuts itself down. This is what it's felt like. Every question, thank you. Every question, thank you. And I had this 3 days of bliss, and I thought that was awakening. It's a glimpse into your true nature, but the body-mind response is not the awakening. But I mistook that as the awakening, and I was in this bath of bliss for 3 days, and I can remember the mind coming back, and the very first thing the mind said to me was, I hope end. And as soon as I said that, it diminished, and then I started chasing it, and it diminished, and I wanted it back, and it diminished, and it ended up going into its opposite of feeling very low and depressed and unenergized. I didn't understand that that was just more of the same mind game that goes on and on and on. Yes, it's a positive one, but it has its opposite as well. And I mean, it was that moment though that inspired me to continue investigating this subject for 2 decades now, and having just some remarkable realizations. But I learned over time that the realizations are no more they're no more interesting really than getting a bill for my phone. It's just an appearance that appears. So you can enjoy it. Oh, look at that. There's another realization going on. But you remain as presence. You remain as the knower of experience. And whatever experience rises, even if it's a non-dual experience, which is an oxymoron, but even if it's a non-dual experience, you let it arise as awareness, abide as awareness, and subside as awareness. So I've been looking a bit around YouTube, and I do see people sharing from these realizations, and I think it's really valuable to watch that. I don't have that. I'm not at that. How can I put it? That's not something I can share authentically now because it's much calmer and matured. But I wish I did film those moments because they're inspiring for others. I remember once when I met a friend on a beach in India around the same time, and I expressed to him my joy of realization. And he later on went and he started joining into satsang. And during one of the satsangs, he put his hand up because I said, does anyone want to share? And he said, I'm so glad I met Joe. He met me in a restaurant. I had no idea what he said, but his enthusiasm was so high, I had to come along. So it is really good to watch these realizations that people have when they share the joy of self-discovery. It's really beautiful, but just with a little bit of understanding that can also be let go. That can also be allowed to be as it is, with no clinging. Realization, no realization. It doesn't really have anything to do with awakening. It's just the body-mind expression of awakening, but it's not awakening, and it doesn't lead to awakening. It's a symptom. It's when a wave in the ocean rises up to a peak. That's a symptom of everything else that's going on, right? And that's the same with these realizations. So enjoy them if you have them, enjoy them if they're shared, but there's nothing to cling to, and there's no one to cling. And that's the ultimate realization. And then you can just rest as awareness in all experience, no matter what appears.